Hey everybody, and welcome back to another book review. So I just finished a book that I did not realize had actually come out. I've been waiting for it to come out, and I don't know how I missed that it came out like 2 years ago. But that is the sequel to the Davenports. The sequel is called More Than This by Krystal Marquis. I'm not sure how to say her last name. I think it's Marquez. But yeah, so been waiting for this sequel. So if you go back and look at my Davenports video, really like the book. For one, really highlighting wealthy Black families in the early 20th century, early 1900s, specifically in Chicago. But it's based on another family, real family, who was trying to transition from being a carriage company to being a car company. In real world, the family, whose names I'm blanking on right now, but they wound up not transitioning to cars, and so eventually they went out of business. But in the Davenports, they are transitioning to cars. They're really trying to figure out how to make both automobiles and carriages still work until obviously carriages go out of style. So yeah, sequel to the original book. So we're still following the four main girls. So you have Olivia and Helen, they are sisters. And then you have Ruby, who's one of their best friends. And then Amy Rose, who was their maid. And in this book, she has finally risen up to own her own business and hair care line. And she's doing really well. She's been kind of taken under by a very wealthy lady, and really given her a great start. And part of this is all because at the end of the last book, spoilers, all of their little love things that were happening were all just all over the place. So Amy Rose was in love with the son of the Davenports, John, but she had overheard his father say that he would never approve of his son marrying the daughter of a slave owner. The father had been previously enslaved. And so Amy Rose is biracial, but she doesn't know a lot about her father. She only knows her mother's side of the story. Or not really her mother's side. It was actually her memory from when she was like 3 or 4. So like it's not a reliable memory, but her mother never like denied, just said that she like really loved this man. But anyway, all of that to say, so Amy Rose is like trying to figure out this world of owning a business while also still being in love with John. Olivia, she was in love with this activist fellow named Washington Dwight, and he had taken off to Washington, and he offered to let her go with him, and she said no, that she had to stay here. And so he eventually comes back, but she's trying to figure out if she actually likes him still, or if she likes the lawyer that her parents' company has hired. And part of it is that her parents are kind of pushing the lawyer on her. And then Helen, she's trying to figure out if she still loves this British Black guy that had come over and basically had been engaged to her sister, but that didn't work out. And turns out Helen really liked him, but then found out that he might have been lying about who he was. And so he's kind of disappeared, and they all assume that he's gone back to England, but he turns back up and he's with this lady. And so everybody's like spreading these rumors that like, oh, he's gotten married. He has this new wife. She has the same last name. So obviously they're married. Turns out they're cousins. And so there's that whole, debacle of Helen trying to figure that out. And then, of course, Helen turning 18 and so being debuted into society. And she's just like not really having it because she wants to work on cars and hang out with the company guys. And she's like, I really want to be part of this company. Like, I think you can have a woman do it. And then the last one is Ruby. Ruby is kind of the easiest one of everybody's storylines because everything revolves around the fact that in the first book, she was kind of doing this like flirtatious thing with this guy and then actually falls in love with him. And so they're planning on getting married. But one of his old flames comes into town, and that person is like spreading rumors about Ruby, rumors that are so bad that she thinks it might have cost her dad the mayoral race. Turns out that's not really the full reason why it cost her dad the mayoral race, but that's just kind of how she feels, and that's kind of how her dad's taking it and kind of treating her like crap. So yeah, like, long summary, but that's because there's 4 lines happening. So in comparison to the first book, I really like the first book. This one just, I felt like it dragged on a lot. There was, you know, I like that we still kept up with the 4 storylines. And I felt like each storyline created a good arc, but like most of the book, I was just yelling at people. Like, you know, yelling at Olivia for just like being super indecisive. And, you know, in the end, she realizes that what she actually wants is to have a home and to settle down. And she doesn't want to be, like, she wants to still be an activist. That's her big thing. But she doesn't want to be traveling all over the country with Washington Dwight or anybody. She's like, I still want to have a home and I want to have kids and I want to settle down. And that's just not his life. And he also just says some kind of things that like are really against her morals, particularly because she starts writing articles for one of the newspapers, but she's been signing them anonymously. So he has this whole rant about how that person is just a terrible person, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, so that's how you feel. And so, yeah, it's like her storyline, though, I think was probably the most annoying, especially just because she accepted the person that her parents put in front of her. And I just, while he did kind of turn into the perfect person for her, I don't think initially he was the perfect person for her. And so I just felt like from an author standpoint, that just felt wrong to me. I just felt like she could have left both of them and been fine. Then there was the whole predictable, you know, everybody wound up with the people that they wanted to be with. You know, there's a little bit of drama before the wedding for Ruby with the old flame and, you know, her spreading rumors and stuff. And Ruby finally stands up to her and is like, yo, I don't care what kind of past you all had. I'm with him now. Yo. Yeah, it just, it was a little stereotypical for me, whereas I felt like the first book just really honed in on some really good storytelling, especially weaving kind of like semi-history into it. This one, it was a lot of teenage drama, and so I just wasn't really feeling it as much. So because of all of that, I give it a 3. It just didn't do it for me. Like, I was really looking forward to the sequel, and I was just kind of let down. That's kind of how I felt about it. So yeah, I mean, like, I don't really have anything good to say about it, you know, like, or super great to say about it. Outside of, you know, I love having a series that is highlighting, African-American wealth, because I feel like that is an area that has really been downplayed, and I feel like with shows like The Gilded Age, we're starting to highlight that a lot more, and this book series goes right along with it, really highlighting that. You know, part of it is highlighting those who were enslaved rising up and creating businesses and being successful, but also highlighting a little bit of, you know, African-American families who had been wealthy and successful, and were doing it for generations, you know. So that was really nice, really refreshing, very positive book overall, like nothing really negative, while also highlighting some of the history. They talk about Ida B. Wells and her anti-lynching stuff. And then they start, because of the time period, like the book takes place in like 1910, I think. And so they're really amping up the women's suffrage and talking about that from their perspectives. And so yeah, so like I like that bit of it. Outside of that, I just, it was a letdown, and I'm upset how let down I felt. So yeah. Anyway, there you have it. Again, the Davenports, More Than This, which is the second book. Like I said, good book. Like not really good, but like okay book. Just not what I wanted in a sequel. Yeah. Yeah. So as always, thank you so much for joining us. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I know we got some new subscribers because the folks in my book club did not know I had a YouTube. So welcome, book clubbers. Super glad to have you guys here. But yeah, please continue to engage. I've seen some comments on some of the older videos that are starting to pop up a little bit more. Love that. Somebody was like, I'm sorry, I don't speak, a super great amount of English. I had to use subtitles. I will try my best. My Spanish is the only other language I kind of mildly know, and it's not super great. So, thank you, those of you that are watching in other countries. Love having you all. Please use the subtitles. I'll do my best to speak nice and clear so the subtitles go through. But love having some new folks. Love engaging in the conversations around books. And as always, if you see a troll, please just ignore them, as I am doing. But as a reminder, I think my husband has said this on his channel perhaps, but I don't think I've ever said it on mine. Trolls will not be tolerated, neither will bullying or any kind of inappropriate conversation or anything in the comments. So please leave that in your own head. I love everybody, and I want to create a safe space to have really short, quick book reviews and not have to deal with a lot of other things. So, but anyway, thank you all for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next book review. Bye!